Hi everyone, Mr. Peabody here. I'm going to build the Grasshopper. And I'm not really set up for this. I know the lighting probably sucks. I know this is probably the wrong place. But I'll do my best. Oh, there's the kids. The kids came home. But the first thing I'm going to need for this are these. Yep, reading glasses. Because at my age, I can't see crap up close and I can't see crap farther away. But I will tell you something about this. I've also got the clippers, got the hobby knife, and every other thing I need except for the bullet plugs for the motor. Don't have those. So I'm waiting on those so I can build most of it, but not all of it. Anyway, let's have a look-see. Now I have to tell you that, a couple of weeks ago I built a Hornet. So I built this thing. Right? And this is much more pungent. This smells like it's been, I don't know, how would you say, exterminated. It sounds like someone's come in and sprayed a really strong chemical. Is it all coming from just the tires? Well, wow, okay. Okay, most of it is. Most of it is coming from the tires. Okie dokie. So there you got the shell, you got your bucket body. That's off to the side. Your battery cover, your bumpers, your man, front suspension, servo saver, your wheels. Your gearbox housing and other things you need for it. Alright. But of course you need to go into this packet as well. Alright, let's start us. Let's fish out this, which is the instruction book. And I've also got other things here to help me along the way. But these are all my screws and bits and bobs and la-di-da bits. Not showing them right, am I? No. There's the front bumper. There's those brushes. Yep, we don't want those because we've got bearings. Okie dokie. So what do I need first? Before I start cutting these bags open, it's interesting because pretty much everything in that bag is the same except for a few different pieces. So I can open that bag and pour it into what's left of what I used for the Hornet. Alright, so that'll do. Alright. So yeah, there's a few other bits. That's part of the gearbox. That looks like, oh, okay. That's suspension mounts. Alright. But everything else is the same screw. So that can go over there. Don't need that anymore. This looks like front and rear suspension screws. It's got the wheel nuts and other things, including those longer nuts, which I'll need to mount the engine, but I don't need those now because I'm not mounting the engine. I'm not mounting this one. This is the 380 engine that comes with it. I'm not mounting that one. Here you got some spacers and other bits, and they've all gone together, so it's hard to tell what's what. And there we've got some ball joint ends. Alright. that's what I need. That bit. And that bit. And boy, oh boy, that's the nightmare that all people that make a Tamiya model hate. That's mostly the screws that go together to put the wheels together. Anyway, let's start with what we've got. All right. So I need this open. Ah, and here's the staples again. Okay. What do I do with that knife? And that's just double-sided tape. That comes in handy later. Here we go. We've got some parts. And some tie ends. But these are the two main parts we need right now. The other parts don't need until later. But let's open up the instruction book. Yep. Right. Now we're starting up here. MR1, which is this thing. And you get two of those. MR1. Yep. And then we need these things. And yeah, the smell of those tires is incredible. But luckily, this room is well aerated. Okay, so there's gears. I don't know why they keep on putting this one in there, because you don't need it for this car. All right, the other one, all the other ones you do, but not this one. Anyway. Oh, by the way, I bought this. Why? So I wouldn't have to use this tiny little thing and make it last all throughout the build. So I went and bought some other lubricant. It's the same stuff, sort of. It's a grease. It says for fishing gear, but it's also for RC cars. Okay. See how it goes. I mean, how different could it possibly be? I mean, I could use up the Tamiya grease, and then what I run out of, I can use this stuff. But I'll start with this stuff. So basically, what do we do? We're putting that into there. We're putting that into there. Yep. So we've got those two parts there. Now we can pull out our bearings. Okay. I suppose an important point would be you might want to get the halves of your gearbox off the sprue. All right. So I've never done a build before. I mean, I've done a build before, but not on camera. So you just have to bear with me a bit. But these are model side clippers. They're actually designed to do this. You can use them on wires as well, but you're going to dull them. All right. And see how clean that is. That's pretty clean. I can clean it up a little bit. I know they say never cut towards yourself, especially with one of these knives, but it's habit. And if there's any more, that's what the sandpaper's for. But that's good enough. Now for the second part. By the way, I've got now two pairs of clippers, because when I built the Hornet, I couldn't find the other pair. Where did they end up being? Believe it or not, in a Tamiya box. That's right. With a whole lot of other Tamiya gear. All right, this one's a little bit more rough. Why is that one so much more thicker? And this is a fairly good blade, so if I miss, I'm going to slice my thumb. So I'm going to stop there and go with the sandpaper. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't want it too lumpy. That is too lumpy. You watch, by the end of this, I'm going to slice through my thumb. All right. That's chunky as well. All right. All right, now, bearings go in here. Here. Here and here. Because I've got bearings, I don't need to grease that up. Okay. So where do we start? We start with that piece. All right, what have I done wrong here? Now this piece needs to go into there. All right, so BM2 goes into this one. All right. So that one gets a bearing. All right, so here we go. And the smaller bearing goes in there. I know it's only been a couple of weeks since I did the Hornet, but you have to double check your work. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a big mess. All right, so what have we got? So that all goes on to there. All right. Pretty good. Now we need a spacer, BD3. And BD3, ooh, that's going to be one of, what do I do with the other bits? Oh, they're over here. BD3, that's probably going to be BD3 right there. Let's have a look, see. Let's do a small slit here. Get that out. Right, check with the manual. Is that BD3? Yes, that's BD3. Okay, BD3 is probably going to need some lubricant. Ah, come on. Okay. Alright, so BD3. Yeah. I know I haven't lubricated any of the gears yet. Why? Because I'll do that further along. Actually, I will have to do this one. Hang on. Better do that one. You can see it's much easier using this tube than it is using the small Tamiya tube. Yeah. And because you can see it's not the easiest task, whether you're using the Tamiya tube or using this, just spread the grease around. Anyway, so we can pop that back on there. Which way are we going? We're going that way. All right. Oop, almost lost a bearing. Okay, so needed the spacer. Don't need any because I'm going into ball bearings, so that needs to go in there. If I can get it to comply. Okay. Oh, there's my bearing gone. Now, is that free? That's free. And that's, well, almost free. Got to put the other bearing in. Okay, that's free. That is rubbing. Why is that rubbing? Okay, hang on. It shouldn't be rubbing. It's not rubbing now. Okay, it's not rubbing now. Cool. I've lost the bearing again. Bloody hell. Bearing should be tighter in there. Anyway, that's where we're at. We've done that. We've done that. And now I think we switch to the other side. We switch to the other side. I'm going to do this in short increments because, one, I want it to last, and two, I'm sort of kneeling on the floor here. All right, let's have a look. Now, the second part. This is where your engine goes in. Don't need that at the moment. Now I've got the bearings in. Oh, that bit. We need that bit. All right, where is it? Oh, and by the way, finding that bit is really difficult. It's mixed in with all these other bits. Not those bits. But it's in amongst all this stuff somewhere. And the first time around, it took me bloody ages. All right, where are we going? Little oil thing. Where is it? Here it is. It actually says oil on it, so you can actually use it to lube up later on, but what screw have we got? A BB1, which is basically one of these suckers. Oh, that's what I didn't grab. I didn't grab screwdrivers. Now they say to use Japanese industry standard screwdrivers. I've had no problem with just normal screwdrivers. This is the fourth Tamiya kit that I've built, and I've never bought special screwdrivers. There is another screwdriver I'll use for this kit because it's a ratchet one, so it comes in handy. I'll do that reasonably tight because you don't want any crap getting into your engine, into your gearbox housing. That's nasty. Okay, I've done that. And now you just pop that in there. Lube it up a bit. And by the way, if you don't spread it out evenly, don't worry. This stuff spreads out itself. By the time you finish, especially when you get the RPM up, it'll just spread everything everywhere. So I've got both those two little halves there, and now I need to deal with this, those. I think I need that pinion, that pinion, and that pinion. Shaft. Yep. Yeah, that's the ones. I need those. Those three go to there, but I also need that other bit. One that's very elusive. What else we've got? I'm not wearing my glasses. It's in there. We need that bit. And why does it look like it's screwed on both ends? That should be machined better than that. Alright. Just nick that there. And pull that bit out. So I need that bit. So, anyway. Need that bit. And those three pinions. So you think, why wouldn't you put that bit in with these three? Considering there's bugger all in this bag. But anyway. Fiddly fiddly. Jeez, that really is fiddly. Vicky, gotcha. Right. So those three go into here. They also go into here. Mind you, because I've got more of this stuff, I seem to be going through it very quickly. There we go. That. To that. I've got to grease these up as well. That. Spread the love. pushed in. Right. Now I've got to go on the outside. Yeah, I know that. But that'll do for now. Which way do you go in? You go in there. You go in there. Right. As far as that's concerned, I just got to grease up. Hang on, what happened there? Just got to grease up this. Make sure all these are seated. And throw some grease on this. Alright. Now, according to this, what have I missed out on? Did I miss anything? Well, as far as I can tell. Alright, so this should all just go together. Right. Alright, everything's working the way it should. Now I've just got to screw the two halves together. Right. So that's 4 of those. Start with 3, shall I? Come on. Told you. Without the reading glasses, I can't see crap. This head's probably just a little bit too big for these screws. But it's not too bad. That's why I'll switch to the ratchet one. It's got a slightly smaller head. But sometimes you need the torque. So, right. There's our gearbox. Of course, there's no engine. Won't be putting the engine in until I get things. Just checking because it is differential. So as I turn one axle one way, the other axle is turning the other way. Nothing's binding up. Everything is good. Probably give this a bit of a wipe down. And then we'll continue on. But I'm going to have a break. See ya.